Opal Sandy was given an infusion of gene therapy into her right ear, which replaces the DNA that causes her type of inherited deafness. Doctors hope Opal's success can lead to gene therapy for more common types of hearing loss.
We're not delivering a large dose of gene therapy to the rest of the body, so it means that we see fewer side effects.
Within 4 weeks of the surgery, Opal responded to sound.
Can I have a kiss? Oh, good girl.
6 months in, she can hear soft noises, even whispering.
That's Andrea Fujii reporting. 50 degrees now. It is cloudy. The humidity is 90%. The wind's north at 5. 50 going up to only 55 this afternoon, and we are looking at rain and drizzle.
Hi, I'm Stu of Stu Leonard's. When you go up to Joe DeFrancesco's, the flowers are blooming. His name's on the side of the building, just like at Stu Leonard's. He's a stickler for quality. And the care and the love that goes into growing that product, it ends when the product's delivered at our store. Joe D delivers to Stu Leonard's fresh plants and flowers 7 days a week.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, an increase in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
The Mets take on the Braves this weekend, and we've got your seats. Listen for your chance to win this morning at 10:15, courtesy of your Tri-Honda dealers.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. 50 degrees. It is 7:20 on this Friday, May 10th. I'm Susan Richard. Here's what's happening. The search is on for the rapist who used a belt to render a woman unconscious in the Bronx. Our Glenn Shuck coming up. NYPD higher-ups grilled at City Hall over some controversial social media posts. More steamy testimony at the Trump trial from Stormy Daniels. Sammy's Law now signed into law. And the latest trend in mixology, the hot dog cocktail. We'll tell you where you can get that. In sports, Rangers take Game 3 in Round 2 of the playoffs. They're now up 3-0 against the Hurricanes. Yanks lost. AccuWeather, rain drizzled today, the high only 55. Winds news time 7:21. Traffic and transit. Here's Karen Stewart.
Well, they may have cleared that northbound New Jersey Turnpike car lane disabled from 13A, but we are still very heavy into 13A in either direction of the New Jersey Turnpike. And the southbound Jersey Turnpike truck south of 14 still have an accident there. The left and center lanes are blocked. Today is not the morning to be in a hurry of any kind. Take mass transit this morning. All mass transit, we just did a check for you. All the major metropolitans in good shape, and not a peep out of the subways. Not really, anyway. Heading over to Raritan, are you? Well, southbound 202 is closed. North of Everett Road, we've got a down pole. Your alternate is the local police detour, or you can use Old York Road instead. Long Islanders, westbound at exit 50 for Bagatelle Road, get a disabled vehicle in the right-hand lane. We've got slow traffic getting out into the Queens line on the westbound LIE from back at Lakeville Road. Then that delay will stay with you to Bell Boulevard. Then from Utopia Parkway out into Queens Boulevard, it's a very slow ride. And one more time from 48th Street out to the beach, you make the trip to Queens between the Midtown Tunnel is not bad at all. And the inbound Gowanus BQE eastbound combination delays up the belt from Bay Ridge Avenue, traveling up into the Prospect, and then it gets jammed from the Prospect Expressway into Atlantic Avenue. We're sponsored by Heart of Rock and Roll, a new Broadway musical comedy. I'm Karen Stewart from the Farmers Dog Traffic Center. Fresh human-grade dog food delivered right to your door on 1010 Wins and 92.3 FM.
The Heart of Rock and Roll is the funniest new musical on Broadway, raves New York Magazine, an adrenaline-filled and hilariously fun knockout comedy that's the highlight of the season. Cheers, the New York Post. The Heart of Rock and Roll. Get tickets now.
A woman, the victim of a terrifying, brutal attack in the Melrose section of the Bronx. The suspect is still on the loose.
A 45-year-old woman walking alone and along 152nd and 3rd Avenue. A man lurking behind. Suddenly, the suspect takes a belt off, uses it as a lasso to put around the victim's neck. And as she falls to the ground, he drags her about 10 feet along the sidewalk, and she loses consciousness. The attacker then raping this woman on the ground behind a parked car before running away. Residents in this neighborhood, like Luz, can't even comprehend this.
At any given moment, somebody could come and hurt you. And police, they should make sure they catch this person.
She spoke with Channel 7 Eyewitness News. The victim was rushed over to Lincoln Hospital, spent the day there getting treatment. Now, in terms of the investigation, at least a $3,500 reward being offered by Crime Stoppers. Several surveillance photos of the attacker. Police have given them to us. We'll put up on our website. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM, the Melrose section of the Bronx.
Oh, tense time at City Hall Thursday where NYPD brass grilled about some questionable social media posts by some top members of the department. This is City Council Speaker Adrian Adams and Carlos Nieves, the NYPD Assistant Commissioner of Public Information, talking about Chief of Patrol John Shell.
He is the one that decides what is going to go out and how they are going to inform the community.
That's a problem.
Now, these social media posts are reviewed by members of DCPI. If there is something that is inappropriate, we would address it.
Well, Shell's come under fire for several tweets that some council members say were inflammatory and violate NYPD policy. He was not at the hearing, and beyond answering some questions, NYPD officials declined to comment, mostly citing an ongoing probe by the City Department of Investigation. A 16-year-old busted in that vandalism incident during a pro-Palestinian demonstration Monday night near the Met Gala. Police say the teen, whose name was not released, was the one who messed up the 107th Infantry Memorial at the corner of 5th Avenue and 67th Street. He is charged now with criminal mischief and making graffiti. Meantime, protesters set up more tents last night, just one day after an encampment was cleared at George Washington University in D.C. In fact, some 300 demonstrators linked arms. Police set up a perimeter around the new tents. So far, though, they've yet to move in to arrest anyone. A new move at the United Nations to come closer to granting Palestine member nation status. The General Assembly to vote today on a resolution that would grant new rights and privileges to the Palestinian territories and call on the Security Council to reconsider the request that Palestine become the UN's 194th member. The United States has vetoed that as recently as last month, saying it should happen as part of negotiations with Israel. Meanwhile, the rift between President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is heating up after the U.S. hit the pause button on sending U.S.-made bombs that might be used in an assault on Rafah. Netanyahu saying this to TV's Dr. Phil.
If Israel has to stand alone, we'll stand alone. But we also know we're not alone because we have so many decent people everywhere who do support us, who do understand the truth. And we will defeat our enemies and we will secure our future.
Well, the whole thing is causing some internal strife in Israel.
Far-right politicians in Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government have been the most angry and the most vocal. His national security minister, who's an ultra-nationalist, Itamar Ben-Gvir, posted on X, "Hamas loves Biden." A legislator from the Prime Minister's party said Biden's actions jeopardize Israel and the entire free world, but there were moderate voices too. The president of Israel, Isaac Herzog, basically told those voices to quiet down, that they were hurting national security, and he then thanked Biden by name for his support in the war.
That's correspondent Rami Inocencio reporting. 50 degrees, cloudy skies. We're heading up to only 55 with some rain and drizzle today. Now Bloomberg Money Watch and Steve Potusk.
The high cost of living has many cutting back on dining out, Susan. According to restaurant tech company Pop Menu, consumers now spend 30% of their food budgets on restaurants each month. That is down from 40% just 2 years ago. Now, 2/3 of consumers choose restaurants that provide more affordable menu items or special offers. There may be a solution to the problem of gassy livestock. A vaccine. A Boston-based startup says it has a shot that targets methane-producing microorganisms that live in animals' saliva and digestive tracts. Now, by some estimates, the methane emitted by cows, sheep, and goats and other livestock does more short-term damage to the climate than the world's passenger vehicles. After a Wall Street win yesterday, S&P futures are positive by 16 points now. NASDAQ ahead 71. Dow futures gaining 93 points. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Steve Potisk for 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.